In 2021, Blackstone sold the Cosmopolitan for $5.65 billion, the most expensive casino sale in history. 2 years later, guests were already complaining it felt like a completely different place. So, what exactly did $5.65 billion buy? And who actually destroyed it? There was a time when walking into the Cosmopolitan felt like being let in on a secret. The ceiling soared 3 stories high. Chandeliers dripped with crystal. The smell of expensive cologne mixed with cigarette smoke and money. It was loud, and dark, and alive. Other casinos felt like airports. The Cosmopolitan felt like a party you almost did not get invited to. It was never supposed to exist. In the early 2000s, a real estate developer named Ian Bruce Eichner bought a prime piece of land right in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip, one of the last great lots left between Bellagio and City Center. His plan was not a casino at all. He wanted to build luxury condos, the kind of glass towers going up in Miami and Manhattan. Las Vegas was booming. Prices were climbing. It seemed like a sure thing. It was not. Construction costs exploded, and financing fell apart. By 2008, Deutsche Bank had sunk over $3 billion into the project and had nothing to show for it, but a half-built concrete skeleton rising above the strip. The bank did not want a casino. It had never run a casino. But it had no choice. It took over the property and decided to finish what Eichner had started. What happened next was something nobody planned for. The designers Deutsche Bank hired were given an unusual instruction: do not try to copy what already exists. Every other casino on the Strip was chasing the same customer. The Bellagio wanted to feel like Europe. The Venetian wanted to feel like Italy. MGM wanted to feel like Hollywood. The Cosmopolitan did not want to feel like anything except itself. They called it just the right amount of wrong. The casino floor broke every rule. It was smaller than its competitors, split across multiple levels instead of one giant open room. There were no buffets, no cheap slot zones, no neon signs screaming free play. Instead, there were intimate bars tucked into unexpected corners, a pizza window hidden inside a lounge, secret passages and staircases that rewarded curious guests. The whole place felt handcrafted, like someone had actually thought about it. When the Cosmopolitan opened in December 2010, people lost their minds. Reviews called it the most exciting hotel in America. Reservations filled up instantly. It became the place every celebrity, every food writer, every high roller wanted to be seen. The underdog had become the king of the Strip. But nobody stays king in Las Vegas forever. For the first few years, everything the Cosmopolitan touched turned to gold. Occupancy rates sat in the high 80s. The casino hummed with energy. The restaurants had wait lists for months. Zuma, Jaleo, and eaters most talked about dining room in Vegas were all here. The Chandelier Bar became one of the most photographed spots in the entire country. People were not just coming to gamble. They were coming because the Cosmopolitan was simply the coolest place to be. But Deutsche Bank never wanted to be in the casino business. It wanted its money back. In 2014, the bank quietly began looking for a buyer. The Cosmopolitan was profitable, but running a luxury hotel on the Las Vegas Strip was not exactly a core banking skill. After months of talks, Blackstone, one of the largest private equity firms in the world, agreed to buy it for $1.7 billion. Deutsche Bank walked away. Relieved. Blackstone walked in with a plan. For a while, things held. Blackstone invested in the property. The vibe stayed mostly intact. Guests kept coming. The brand still had its edge. Private equity firms are not in the business of holding assets forever. They are in the business of buying low, improving the numbers, and selling high. The clock was ticking from the moment they signed the papers. By 2021, Blackstone had done exactly what it came to do. It sold the Cosmopolitan to MGM Resorts for $5.65 billion, nearly 4 times what it paid 7 years earlier. It was the most expensive single casino sale in American history. MGM celebrated. Analysts celebrated. Everyone called it a triumph. Then, guests started noticing things. Small things at first. The room service menu got shorter. A beloved bar changed its concept without explanation. Staff who had worked there for a decade were suddenly gone. The pizza window inside the lounge, a quirky little detail regulars loved, quietly disappeared. None of these changes made headlines, but together they sent a message. The soul of the place was being managed now, not felt. Then came the moment that crystallized everything. A guest posted a photo online of a cocktail at the Chandelier bar. The drink had always been the signature of the Cosmopolitan, theatrical and oversized, worth every penny. The photo showed something noticeably smaller. The price had gone up, and the drink had gotten smaller. The comments section exploded. One shrunken cocktail should not be enough to bring down a $5 billion casino. But it was not just the cocktail. It was everything the cocktail represented. Once guests started looking, they could not stop seeing it. Resort fees climbed to $50 a night on top of already expensive room rates. Parking, once validated easily through the casino, became harder to comp. MGM brought with it M Life Rewards, and it made sense on paper. Stay at the Cosmopolitan. Earn points. Use them at Bellagio, or Aria, or Vdara. One big happy family. But longtime Cosmopolitan guests did not want to be part of a family. They wanted to feel special. They wanted their casino, not a corporate network. And that was the deeper problem MGM could not solve with a spreadsheet. The Cosmopolitan had always competed by being different. Its edge was not size or location or the number of slot machines. Its edge was personality. That personality had been built carefully over years through specific design choices, specific staff, specific little details that made guests feel like insiders. MGM now owned all of that, but owning something and understanding it are two very different things. MGM already had Bellagio 2 blocks south and Aria right next door. Both were bigger, more established, with deeper loyalty bases and higher recognition worldwide. The Cosmopolitan was now the third option in a portfolio that did not need a third option. Marketing budgets got redistributed. Group bookings that might have gone to the Cosmopolitan got steered toward properties with more convention space. The Cosmopolitan stopped being a destination and started being an alternative. Occupancy numbers quietly softened. Revenue per available room, the number the industry watches most closely, began slipping against Strip averages. Staff morale followed. When the people who built the culture leave, the culture leaves with them. New hires do not know the stories. They do not know why the details mattered. They just know the manual. Former regulars posted online that the place felt different. Not broken, not empty. Just different in a way that was hard to explain, but impossible to ignore. One guest wrote that it felt like running into an old friend who had changed so much you did not know what to talk about anymore. The Cosmopolitan was still standing, still beautiful, still pulling in visitors by the thousands. But somewhere between Deutsche Bank and Blackstone and MGM, the secret had gotten out. And once a place loses what made it special, getting it back is nearly impossible. Here's the complicated truth. The Cosmopolitan is not falling apart in the way that a building falls apart. The lights still work. The rooms are still gorgeous. The location, right in the center of the Strip, surrounded by the biggest names in Las Vegas, is as good as it gets. You can walk to Bellagio in 4 minutes. You can see the fountains from certain rooms. On paper, this place should be untouchable, and some guests still love it. Reviews praise the bed quality, the shower pressure, the food hall tucked below the casino floor. First-time visitors walk in, and their jaws drop. The bones of what made the Cosmopolitan great are still there, still visible, still worth something. But bones are not the same as a heartbeat. The staff who built the culture are mostly gone. The quirky details that made regulars feel like insiders have been smoothed away one by one. The brand that once felt rebellious and alive now feels like a mood board in a corporate presentation. MGM did not destroy the Cosmopolitan out of malice. It destroyed it out of habit. This is simply what large companies do. They buy something special, standardize it, and optimize it until the specialness is gone. The numbers reflect this quietly. While Bellagio and Aria continue to post strong results, the Cosmopolitan sits in an awkward middle space, too expensive for budget travelers and not prestigious enough to pull the true high rollers away from properties with decades of reputation behind them. It is competing against its own corporate siblings and losing ground slowly, the way a tide goes out. So gradually, you barely notice until the beach is bare. MGM has the resources to fix this. It has the talent, the money, and the incentive. A $5.65 billion asset does not get ignored. There will be reinvestment. There will be rebranding efforts. There will be a press release someday announcing the Cosmopolitan's exciting new chapter. But here's the question that actually matters. Can you bring a feeling back once it is gone? Can a corporation manufacture the kind of cool that only happens by accident? In the gap between what something was supposed to be and what it actually became? The Cosmopolitan was born from failure. It became legendary because nobody was watching. Now, everybody is watching. And that might be the one thing it cannot survive.